Hello, I am Theo, and I got into prolonged fasting almost exactly half a year ago. I'm pretty sure it was on August 1st I did my first prolonged fast, 5 days with no food. Today I'm going to teach you how to go about trying it out for yourself. So I won't get much into why you should fast in this video. I have other videos for that I link at the end of this video. But basically it's about rapid fat loss and then just heaps of other health benefits. Basically there's a reason why all the major religions had fasting as a staple. So let's get right into it. Like the first thing you want to do is a 72-hour fast, just straight up 3 days without food. And maybe if you're really active, if you work out a lot and you're already kind of lean, don't carry too much body fat, then fine, 48 hours is okay. The reason 72 hours is the best one to start with is that you will for sure get into ketosis, that fasted state, and it'll just teach you what fasting is all about. So basically 48 hours could be okay if you're active enough and lean enough already, but 72 hours to make sure. So, be honest with yourself about your current state and don't be a wuss. Do that 72-hour fast right away. And pick a time that suits you, and this will be different for different people. Like for instance, someone would think that I need to do it on a weekend when I don't have work. But for instance, a friend of mine, for his first fast, 60 hours I think, he thought the complete other way around, that I better do it when I work, so I have a distraction and don't think about food all the time. Just pick what you think is the optimal time to do it for you, so you don't have any excuses to get out of it. I will say though, that it's very good if you have like some kind of chore, like if not work, something that you can do and just occupy yourself with, like do laundry, clean your house, do the dishes, go shopping for food maybe. Alright, I shop for food when I fast a lot. Maybe you don't want to do that if you feel really addicted to it, but you get the point. Having chores to do while fasting is good, so what you're doing is not eating. You're just cleaning your house and not having any food at the same time, or doing the dishes while not having any food. You get the point. So what can and what should you consume on a fast? Well, the only thing you should consume is snake juice, and that's a drink made up by Cole Robinson, a fasting guru. I would say the guy that I've gathered most of my knowledge about fasting from before starting. So check him out. Snake Diet is the name of his channel. But snake juice is basically electrolytes, salt water, sodium chloride, which is just regular salt used for food, and potassium chloride. This is most important for the longer fast, like over 2 days, I would say. If you sweat a lot or if you're very active on a 2-day fast, you might run low on electrolytes, but most people will do fine on a 48-hour fast without any snake juice. But for fasts longer than that, you probably want to have it. So there are many different recipes for snake juice. You can just Google it. Some optional minerals you can add if you want to. But basically, sodium chloride and potassium chloride are the important ones, and sodium chloride even more so. Because sodium chloride is potassium sparing, so if you get enough sodium, you'll not use as much potassium. Personally, I use 1 teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt and 1 teaspoon of potassium chloride powder for 2 liters of snake juice. And Himalayan pink salt is good because it contains a lot of other nice trace minerals, but basically any salt that is just regular salt, sodium chloride is salt, will work. You can experiment with this and find what works for you. So what else can you consume without breaking the fast? Well, it depends on your goals. You got to think about why you fast. Personally, I drink some coffee during fast, maybe some tea sometimes. But, if you're doing this to break addictions, then maybe you don't want to have 10 cups of coffee every day. It's kind of like you're cheating if your goal is to not having to consume stuff all the time, right? But it will be fine drinking coffee or tea. It won't break the fast. And basically everything that doesn't contain calories. There are exceptions though. The non-caloric things you don't want to consume on a fast is artificial sweeteners though. So no diet soda, no gum. Because obviously if it's no calories and you're trying to lose weight, you're not going to gain weight from drinking diet soda. It can, however, stop other processes of the fast, like autophagy, because the brain gets fooled by the sweet taste, think you're having sugar, will spike insulin, and then you kind of reset the fast. Also, the sweet taste, even if you're not having any calories, is going to keep that food addiction, that addiction to sweet tastes. So when you're done fasting, you're still going to be a food addict. So stay away from those artificial sweeteners on the fast. So when you're done with that initial 72-hour fast, you have many options depending on your goals. So if you're someone like me that work out a lot and don't really have that much fat to lose, maybe you start doing one 48-hour fast a week, if you like that. Maybe you'll do a longer fast every second month or so. You know, it's up to you how you want to use this. But now you've broken that fear of fasting, that illusion that you need food every day. If you're someone that wants to lose weight, maybe you start chaining 48 or 72-hour fasts. Fasting for 72 hours, having a refeed, fasting for 72 hours, and so on. Maybe you find a plan where you eat for 4 days every week and then fast for 72 hours and do that every week. It's really up to you. But if you're losing weight, it's just instead of having a daily caloric deficit that most people do when they're trying to lose weight, you'll have a weekly caloric deficit. Maybe you eat a ton on those 4 days you eat. But with that 72-hour fast, you end up in a caloric weekly deficit anyways. So it's up to you. You have this new power now. Sleep can be a problem when you fast because hormones can get ramped up, and also if you're having withdrawals. Because let's face it, the majority of the Western population today are addicted to eating. It's not an accusation, it's just that we eat multiple meals a day. Many people haven't gone longer than 24 hours without food. So obviously you're gonna, like with anything that you like, that you're used to getting, you're gonna get withdrawals. So we're gonna get more into that, but sleep can be a problem. So make sure to give yourself the best opportunity to get some nice sleep. And by that I mean go outside during the day, get some sunlight, and at nighttime stay away from blue lights like the last couple of hours before you go to sleep. And depending on who you are, you might still have problems sleeping. And this is something you're just going to have to deal with, at least in the beginning, if you're serious about starting a fasting-focused lifestyle. So back to the withdrawals. It's different for different people, but for me personally, hour 30 to 36 are always the worst. I do different fasting routines depending on my goals at the time, so when I fasted more frequently, that kind of disappears. But now recently, I had eaten for more days in a row than I had in a while, and I was going to do a 48-hour fast, and I got really strong withdrawals actually. And as always for me, in that hour 30 to 36 mark. But so expect to be bothered, expect it to be uncomfortable fasting in the beginning, and don't freak out. This is normal. What do alcoholics do when they don't get alcohol? They shake and they feel like crap, obviously. Now, just to get that in there, if you are like super lean, like 5% body fat lean, and you feel bad fasting, well, maybe then there's actually a good reason for that. You know, you shouldn't be fasting for that long if you're that lean, or at least not without eating a lot of food right before you do it. So, you know, be smart about it. If you have like, say, 10 kilos extra that you carry around, you know is overweight, there's no good reason that you would have to eat every day. It doesn't make sense that you're carrying around all this stored energy, because that's literally what body fat is. It's like food that you put in the fridge. The reason we have an appetite is obviously to tell us when we need to eat, but our appetite has gotten kind of screwed up because we've been exposed to this extreme availability of food, and especially junk food. So a good rule of thumb for how you feel during a fast is that if you've felt worse on a hangover, then you're doing fine. So a little bonus tip here, both for the sleep part and the withdrawal part, is cold showers. I discovered this when I was on a 48-hour fast and got that 36 hour syndrome. I just felt very tense and wired up, like I could feel the cortisol, stress hormones spiking. So I went into the cold shower, just the coldest, for 2 or 3 minutes, and it helps a lot, and I've been doing it since, if I need to. Just if you're feeling like, I don't have a good English word for it, but if you feel like this wired up feeling, like tense, and you know, a cold shower can take the edge right off that. So it can help you fall asleep easier and also take you out of that fake craving for food. Because you'll notice that if you feel that way in the evening and you fall asleep, a lot of the time you're gonna wake up feeling great, just fine, and not hungry at all. So there is that little period that might be tough, at least in the beginning, or if you go a while without fasting. But just know that it's fake. Your appetite is broken. But I think that's it. I think that's all you need to know about how to go about fasting. Well, I guess I can mention that when you get into ketosis, you're gonna get a strange taste in your mouth. It's called keto breath. So just don't worry about it. That's supposed to happen. I think that's all you need to know to try prolonged fasting. So if you liked the video, please hit like, please subscribe, and let me know in the comments if there's anything I missed or anything else about fasting you'd like to know. I've been practicing this lifestyle for half a year now. I've tried many different routines, and probably there's stuff I know that people would like to know, but that I don't think about telling you. So, please leave suggestions and I'll do my best. All right, see you everybody.